Is up. Thank you, member. I call the member for Mount Ommaney.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise today to speak to my first budget as the member for Mount Ommaney. Deputy Speaker, this budget is the result of working for what Mount Ommaney residents have been telling me for the last 5 years. I want to thank at the outset the Premier, the Deputy Premier and the ministers who have worked with me and listened to me as I have shamelessly asked for more for Mount Ommaney. Over the last 2 elections, as my team and I door-knocked over 10,000 homes, one issue came up constantly in every part of the electorate: fix the congestion. It's a message I've heard over and over again, and indeed it's something I experience firsthand every day as I traverse from my home in Oxley, along the Ipswich motorway, through to the Centenary motorway before I get off at the Sumner Road overpass and drop my children at Middle Park State School. I know just how bad the congestion is because, like everyone else in my community, I sit in it each and every day alongside them. When I continue my commute into the city, it's over an hour in traffic, much of it spent trying to get out of the Centenary suburbs, or, as it's not so fondly known by locals, the Centenary car park. Madam Speaker, sometimes you feel like you're in the twilight zone, sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic until you hit the Jindalee Bridge, where the road starts suddenly moving freely. This budget recognises the frustration and the lost productivity created by this gridlock and commits to getting something done. This budget locks in key projects for the South West Corridor, right in the heart of Mount Ommaney. Firstly, the long-awaited Sumner Road overpass starts construction this year, with the $14.9 million in the budget committed to getting this critical piece of infrastructure underway. Madam Deputy Speaker, with 35,000 cars a day using this piece of infrastructure, this bridge is a conduit to the thriving business hubs of Sumner Park and Darra. It's due in part to the great success of businesses like White Lies Microbrewery in Sumner Park, Oz Wagtail's Doggy Daycare on the eastern side of the bridge, and Centenary Landscaping in Darra that traffic across the bridge has grown more than 10% since the overpass was first mooted almost 10 years ago. That's how long Centenary residents have been waiting to get this project started, and finally the finish line is in sight. The Sumner Road overpass design features a doubling of capacity with an additional 2-lane bridge across the motorway and new traffic lights to stop the traffic coming off the Centenary motorway heading to the industrial park of Darra, which cuts off the traffic coming from the Centenary area. These small businesses and the many locals that they employ deserve our support, and that's why we are getting moving on this project as soon as possible. I can't wait to see this project get underway later this year. With 80,000 cars a day, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Centenary motorway in the Centenary suburbs is also growing more congested by the day. Locals know that the Jindalee on-ramp is the key to unlocking this logjam, so we, the Palaszczuk government, are getting on with progressing a business case to upgrade this choke point. As a former Jindalee resident, I've watched as year after year this road gets worse, so I'm thrilled to be announcing that the business case is underway so Mount Ommaney locals can get to work on time and make it back to their kids by 6 p.m. pickup. Thank you, Member for Stretton. I take that interjection. In this budget, the $4 million business case has received an additional $16 million boost, bringing the total budget so far to $20 million to fix the Centenary motorway. As I said, Madam Deputy Speaker, for the many residents who sit on this congested road every day, like I did this morning, it can't come soon enough.
Making a good Labor member to deliver it, isn't it?
Locals will be aware that the Ipswich motorway upgrade is well and truly underway between Rocklea and Oxley, With 85,000 cars a day slowly crawling along this stretch of road during peak hour that starts before 7 and finishes well after 9, the finish of these works can't come soon enough for my electorate. However, we can't just rely on roads to build our way out of congestion. We need to encourage commuters to use public transport too. That's why Darra train station has been identified as a key regional transport hub for the southwest region. We've been given $3 million of a total of $8.7 million for design and planning, adding an extra 180 car parks to have a total of 441 car parks for commuters at Darra. This, combined with the Sumner Road overpass upgrade, will create much easier access to the Darra train station for Centenary residents who want to use public transport to get into the city. And as it's only a 22-minute express service into the city, that's a very attractive option. But many female commuters have told me that a current lack of car parks with adequate lighting currently deter them from catching the train at Darra, as they don't want to walk down dark streets to their car. This upgrade is going to go a long way to address this. Likewise, it can also take 20 minutes or more just to drive the few short kilometres from Centenary suburbs like Middle Park to Darra and to find a park. The Palaszczuk government understands you can't fix congestion without a multi-pronged approach, and I'm proud to have lobbied hard for these vital upgrades to our area, and I thank the Minister for Transport and Main Roads, Minister Bailey, for his assistance in this area. This local commitment will be supported by the Palaszczuk government's $5.4 billion commitment to build the Cross River Rail, providing more express services like the one we enjoy from Darra and get cars off our road. As a former small business manager on the southern end of the CBD, I'm also thrilled that it will unlock the Alison Albert Street stretch of the CBD, which is almost 1 kilometre, Madam Speaker, from the nearest train station. It's hard to fathom that some parts of the CBD are a kilometre's walk from the nearest public transport hub. The Cross River Rail is desperately needed by the southern end of the CBD, and I encourage everyone to support this vital infrastructure. I'm also very proud that our firefighters will be getting a major upgrade to the Mount Ommaney station. We've committed $1.45 million to a major upgrade of our fire station to ensure our fireys can get to emergencies in our local communities sooner. Our emergency services personnel do an outstanding job, and they deserve to have the best infrastructure to help them service our state. So, as member for Mount Ommaney, I'm thrilled to be part of a team that's getting Mount Ommaney moving to work, to school and to home. However, we need to make sure that the next generation of Queenslanders have access to the best quality education to get those jobs, as you'd well appreciate, Madam Deputy Speaker. That's why both high schools in my electorate are receiving substantial cash injections to expand and update their facilities. Centenary State High is a fantastic multicultural school which prides itself on offering pathways to excellence for every student. Principal John Brew and his amazing team of teaching staff understand that every child is different and every child deserves the chance to shine. They are such a popular school that they are bursting at the seams, so we have budgeted $8.5 million to build a new multi-storey learning centre. This will nurture the talents of students like youth member for Mount Ommaney, Francesca Helmuth. I also want to give a shout out to the parent body of the Centenary State High, who've worked tirelessly to air condition the remaining classrooms for their students. Your children and we as a community, thank you for your dedication. Corinda State High has gone from strength to strength under the leadership of Principal Helen Jamieson. It was a pleasure to take Minister Grace out to visit the teachers earlier this year as they made their preparations to get back to school. Minister Grace could see that this bustling school with their agriculture program, complete with its own on-site farm, Mr Deputy Speaker, this is Corinda. I take that interjection for the Minister, for the member for Whitsundays. This is yes, this is the Corinda State High. You should listen more carefully, member for Whitsundays, and its science program continue to make it a great example of why state schools are great schools. That's why Corinda State High, member for Whitsundays, will benefit from a $10 million cash
Order through the
injection
chair.
to upgrade and expand their facilities. Mr Deputy Speaker, my state high schools are a source of enormous personal pride to me. I think that they are two exemplary examples of giving every Queensland child access to a quality education that ensures they have every opportunity in life, whether it's agriculture, the arts or a science degree, like Dhruv Singh, one of Corinda's school captains, currently pursuing tertiary education while pursuing his Year 12 studies at UQ as well. Mr Speaker, I came to Parliament with a clear set of priorities for my electorate, informed by thousands of conversations with locals, the support of my wonderful volunteers and my own priorities as a parent, a local and a small business employee. Mr Deputy Speaker, I am immensely proud of what this budget has delivered for Mount Ommaney, and I commend the bill to the House.
I call the member for Condamine.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker.